Now the next thing you wanted to show kind of surprised me because it's about the Kimura, and typically the Kimura, I don't think of it as a small guy move.
Yeah.
I think of it as a big guy move. So it kind of surprised me that you wanted to show it, but obviously you have it work for you.
Well, you know, I agree with you on some level. It kind of depends on the context. From the bottom, I don't do too much. Like from the guard or from half guard, if I'm on bottom, I really don't go for it. But when I'm on top, and I'll tell you one reason why I like the Kimura. If I'm in side control, I go to the Kimura, and you block, I'm still on top. If I'm on side control, I go to the Kimura, I go to the arm lock, and I miss it, I'm on bottom now.
Okay.
So when I get on top, I like to try to stay on top because I may not have the opportunity to get back on top if I get rolled off. And I also have a pretty simple but slick transition here that helps me go from the Kimura right to the back, which is always a great upgrade.
And that's what you wanted to show.
That's really what I wanted to show.
Okay.
So typically, I'm going to go for the Kimura, just pretty basic. Like when I get to side control, one thing that we have to be able to do as a smaller person against a bigger person, I don't want to talk bad about big people jiu-jitsu because there's a lot of big people that have really, really great jiu-jitsu, including Stefan here. But sometimes they don't always follow, they don't live in the same world that I live in. They don't live in the same world as the little person lives in. They can sometimes make mistakes and then back out of them. Whereas a smaller person, if you make the mistake, you're stuck. Mm-hmm. So sometimes even high-level people will give you a chance. They'll give you an attack. And one of the main things that people do is they grab your body. A lot of guys will do this. They'll try to throw you over. They know it's low percentage, but they're kind of like, well, if I miss it, I'm just going to reposition and recover my guard or something. Whereas a small guy, if he misses it, now you're stuck. So it doesn't really matter what shoulder he goes over. This is more traditional, him going over this shoulder, but I really like this one as well. It's almost like an arm lock fake to the Kimura, and then I also get to go to the back. So let's do it from here because we don't see it quite as much. So I'm going to be like this. I want to keep my hips down, of course, and now I want to slide my forearm kind of across Stefan's chest, and I want to do, we're back to the praying mantis that we talked about before. I'm going to pull it in just like this. So it's kind of like the spinning arm lock from Neon Belly if you're familiar with that. I have a good grip on his tricep. My forearm is right across his belly, and I'm also putting pressure with my own shoulder and my own head. Okay? This naturally, because he's already up, Stefan wants to kind of turn a little bit as well. I'm going to block his head, and I'm going to step over this way. Okay? You just turn this way a little bit, Stefan. Yeah. So now when I get here, because of my grip, sometimes he thinks arm lock. All I'm going to do is lift, and I'm going to switch my hands, and I'm going to go back to the Kimura. Now, if I'm able to finish 1, 2, 3, awesome. But what happens a lot of times is Stefan grabs his belt, and because he's big, he's strong, no matter how hard I pull, it's really difficult for me to break that grip. So what I will do is I take this arm and I slide it in really deep, and I simply step over his head, and here I am in a great position, ready to go for his back. I could drive into him, throw my leg over, and pull him onto me like a chair. Bam. I could be ready to attack the neck. He defends. I'm tying up the arm. Whatever I want to attack with, it's there. So, of course, if I can submit the guy with the Kimura, great. But I found that even though the percentage of finishing the Kimura against a big guy is a little bit lower than normal, I definitely am able to get to the position, and then I'm able to transition to the back, which is, in a way, that's what I wanted all along. You know what I'm saying?
So show me again. So from this angle, go ahead.
So from this angle, same thing is over the shoulder. Look, I'm going to actually rock him back a little bit, okay? You can use your hands to push him. Tuck that elbow in, and I can trap him with my head, or with my elbow. My shoulder is great too. This hand, I can push down or actually pull him on his side a little bit. I want to step over the head. Now, I can either be 2 knees on the floor. If I want to raise one of them, it has to be on this side, or else it's going to be a lot of trouble if I raise the other one. So I want to be here or there, never lifting my inside knee. Once I get here, I'm going to pop him up, switch my arms. Now, if I can finish, of course, that's what I want. But when he holds the belt, let's turn this way a little bit, Stefan. When I'm here, I want to sink my arm all the way through. So I'm here, and this arm is going to go all the way through. At the same time, I do a little back step here, and I want to scoop him up. Just turn with me a little bit. So once I get this position, I can put either hook in. Normally what I do is I drive into him. I bring my foot to the small of his back. I step over, and I don't really mind if he catches me in half guard. Because I'm behind his arm, I'm still going to take his back here with kind of the chair sit. This hook always comes in, and I'm on the back, ready to attack.
Let's get it. Nice. That's it, Ezekiel. Go for the back. Go for 4 more. Go 4 more. Nice.